Welcome to G Fun Facts Online. Today, we're diving deep, literally. We're going far beneath the waves, past the coral reefs and sunlit zones, into a world that holds the key to fighting one of humanity's greatest foes, cancer. For centuries, we've looked to forests and fields for medicine, but it turns out the ocean is a massive, submerged pharmacy, and we are just now starting to fill the prescription. The journey from a weird-looking sea creature to a life-saving drug in a hospital is incredibly long and difficult. But it's happening. A handful of these ocean-derived compounds have made it all the way, and they are changing lives. The story really kicks off in the 1950s with a Caribbean sponge. Scientists found some really unusual molecules in it, which inspired them to create a synthetic drug called Cytarabine. Since 1969, Cytarabine has been a fundamental weapon against leukemia and lymphoma. It was the proof of concept we needed. The ocean holds powerful secrets. Fast forward to more recent times. Have you ever heard of a sea squirt? They're blob-like creatures that filter feed on the sea floor. From one of them, Actinidia turbinata, we get a drug called Trabectedin. This complex molecule is used to treat tough cancers like soft tissue sarcomas. It works by grabbing onto the cancer cell's DNA and messing up its ability to repair and copy itself. And get this, scientists now think the sea squirt doesn't even make the compound itself. A tiny symbiotic bacterium living inside it is the real master chemist. Then there is Eribulin. This is a synthetic version of a molecule called halocondrin B, originally found in a Japanese marine sponge. Approved in 2010, Eribulin is a game-changer for metastatic breast cancer. It works by attacking the cell's internal skeleton, its microtubules, stopping the cancer cells from dividing. But perhaps the cleverest of all is a drug called Brentuximab Vedotin. Think of it as a smart bomb. It's what's called an antibody-drug conjugate. It links a super-potent toxin, originally inspired by a compound from a sea hare, to an antibody that hunts for a specific protein found only on certain lymphoma cells. The antibody delivers the toxic warhead directly to the cancer, blowing it up from the inside while leaving healthy cells alone. This targeted approach is a huge leap forward. Those approved drugs are just the tip of the iceberg. The success has kicked off a global treasure hunt. Sponges, for example, are the undisputed champions. They're simple, they can't move, so to defend themselves they've evolved an incredible chemical arsenal. About a third of all marine natural products we've discovered come from sponges. One compound from a deep-water sponge, leodermatolide, has shown amazing potential against pancreatic cancer cells in the lab by using a totally unique way to mess up their internal structure. And we already mentioned tunicates or sea squirts. They've given us two approved drugs, Trabectedin and plitidepsin, making them rock stars of the marine pharmacy. But what about the janitors of the ocean floor? The humble sea cucumber. Well, recent research has highlighted a special sugar compound from one species that can stop cancer from spreading. It works by blocking an enzyme that cancer cells use to remodel their surroundings to help them grow. The best part? Unlike other drugs that try to do the same thing, this sea cucumber sugar doesn't seem to cause dangerous blood-clotting side effects. Even tiny organisms like algae and cyanobacteria are powerhouses. Brown algae produce a substance called fucoidan that can inhibit tumor growth, and cyanobacteria are the original source of the molecules that inspired the warheads in those smart bomb cancer drugs. So if the ocean is packed with these amazing cancer-fighting molecules, why isn't every cancer drug from the sea? Well, there are some huge hurdles. The first is the supply problem. These compounds often exist in ridiculously tiny amounts. To get just 1 gram of Trabectedin, you'd originally need to harvest a ton of sea squirts. That's just not sustainable and would destroy marine ecosystems. On top of that, these molecules are often mind-bogglingly complex, making them incredibly difficult and expensive to recreate in a lab. But science is fighting back with some brilliant solutions. For Trabectedin, Scientists developed a semi-synthetic method, starting with a material from a bacterium that's easier to get. For Eribulin, chemists achieved an incredibly complex total synthesis, so we don't need the sponge at all. The future is likely in biotechnology, using genetic engineering to get bacteria or yeast to brew these compounds for us in giant vats. Scientists are also using nanotechnology to build tiny delivery systems, like nanobombs inspired by mussels, that can carry these potent drugs directly to a tumor and release them on command, making them more effective and less toxic. And of course, there's aquaculture, essentially farming sponges, or tunicates, in controlled environments. The deep sea is still one of the most mysterious and unexplored places on our planet. Every dive, every sample brings the potential for a new discovery. The search for marine anti-cancer drugs is this incredible fusion of marine biology, chemistry, and medicine. It's a journey that takes hope from the darkest, deepest parts of our world and brings it to the forefront of our fight against cancer. We've only just scratched the surface of what nature's submerged pharmacy has to offer, and the future of oncology might just be found beneath the waves.